Hello, everyone. I'm Nina Gopal. Welcome to Global Express. This is where we dissect events in our neighborhood and its impact on India. Today, while all eyes are on whether Iran and Israel will dial it up a notch, on Russia and Ukraine, and Delhi caught napping on Bangladesh and the students' maneuver that led to the shocking flight from the country of its Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and the Taliban marking 3 years of power in Kabul, the big question is right next door. Are we paying enough attention to what is unfolding in neighboring Pakistan? A nuclear armed nation of 230 million. There's a duel between the Pakistan Army Chief, General Asim Munir, and former Prime Minister Imran Khan after he was voted out of power, jailed for 14 to 15 months, that now seems to be taking on a whole new turn. A Pakistan purge. Retired General Lt Gen Faiz Hameed, the architect of Imran Khan's ascent to power, has been arrested by the Pakistan Army. This makes Faiz Hameed the first current or former head of the powerful inter-service intelligence agency to face a court-martial. Why now is the question, and what are the consequences domestically and internationally? Talking to us today is Mubashir Luqman, one of Pakistan's most well-known investigative journalists, columnists, and television anchor persons, a talk show host with the highest number of social media followers in Pakistan. He's launched numerous channels. He heads World Call Telecom, is the CEO of Baghi TV, even served as a former caretaker provincial minister in Punjab in 2007-2008. Welcome, Mr. Luqman.
Thank you. Thank you, Nina.
Also with us is Avinash Mohanani, a 1985 IPS officer. He joined the Intelligence Bureau in 1991, served in Pakistan from November 1997 to August 2001, in Kashmir till 2004, dealt with counter-terrorism in Kashmir, and to me, he's a byword on Pakistan. Welcome, Mr. Mohanani.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you.
So let's start with you, Ms. Luqman. As you've said repeatedly on your shows that you're an army kid, so you have a rare insight to what's going on. I have several questions for you. What is the central message behind the arrest of Lt Gen Faiz Hameed, the former head of Pakistan's counterintelligence agency? Is it a crackdown on Imran Khan's inner circle? Is this arrest just the tip of the iceberg? Is the Pakistan army in the throes of a massive military purge, targeting all those who support Imran Khan within the army?
First of all, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity. And it's always a great pleasure and great to have Mr. Avinash with us. And, I really look up to him and his analysis. But over a period of years, Nina, you'll bear me witness that Pakistan Army has been very active in identifying elements that sort of sidestep or break the SOP in any manner. And they've sort of dealt with them, and severely. This is not going to be the first court-martial, neither of a general or any other senior officer, and it's definitely not going to be the last one. There have been plenty. Just this year, in 1 year, 3 corps commanders were let go of. The number one I can recall is General Salman, who was corps commander of Lahore when May 9th happened, and corps commander house was burned down. And he was relieved along with 15 other senior officers at that time. And then Corps Commander Bangla was, relieved of his responsibilities as well a couple of months back. And this is the third one. This is a retired Corps Commander, by the way, that we are talking about. Those two were serving Corps Commanders. The fact that Faiz Hameed was linked with Imran.
The difference is that this gentleman, Faiz Hameed, is facing charges. These gentlemen were let go of. Your army officers, your corps commanders were allowed to go without being prosecuted.
No. They were not allowed to go. They were prosecuted. They were charge sheeted. They were court-martialed. And the second one was not. The first one was. And he was relieved of his pension and his rank and everything that went with it. So, it's not.
Okay.
The army has its own system of charge sheeting people, that's different. And so it may not come in the media. Now, the other thing is that Faiz Hameed becomes more important and talked about because of his association or affiliation with Imran Khan. And the fact is that Imran's bad days with the military establishment started with Faiz Hameed as DG ISI when Imran wanted him to continue till the end of December, and the army had transferred him as a corps commander in Peshawar at that time. So that tussle actually was the first straw on the camel's back, as I can put it. So this is, but this time, remember, he is being charge sheeted at the instructions of the Supreme Court. And there are other charges on him. There are other charges on him. And I know for a fact that he will be held accountable for many other things. But this is just one of them. And in my personal opinion, and I can be wrong, this is the tip of the iceberg. He has so many charges on him. And and eventually, yes, it is going to be a crackdown on Imran Khan's political party as well, in a way, because as per our law, as per our constitution, no army officer can indulge in politics for 2 years post-retirement. And he
That's
not only,
right. I read that.
he also conspired, against serving army officers, as per the grapevine. So there's a very long list of charges on him. And there are corruption charges, and there are more corruption charges, and then there are more corruption charges, and there are charges of abuse and abuse of power. And Faiz Hameed, by the way, I can tell you one thing that I don't know whether you're aware of it or not, but today, 3 more senior officers, retired officers, are, they've been taken into custody. And as I speak to you, I was on a call with somebody in Islamabad just a few minutes before this recording, and I was told that in the next 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, you can expect at least 5 to 6 more arrests today.
My God! So it is a purge.
Yeah,
it is a purge at the very top.
Yeah.
Are these right up and down the ranks, or is it just the top brass?
I know that two are brigadiers, one is a lieutenant colonel, and the others who are going to be arrested, I don't know about them, but I can tell you there's another interesting arrest that has been made, and along with them, a couple of other people have been detained. They are being interrogated. They have not been arrested formally. That is a deputy superintendent of Adiala jail where Imran Khan is being held as a prisoner. And that deputy superintendent...
Wasn't this the man who was the messenger?
He was, and on his phone, on his WhatsApp chat, calls to 3 different European countries have been traced. And we believe that, he kept Imran Khan continuously in touch with whoever there was in different countries of Europe. And, hence, if you recall, the 2 articles, one that was published in The Guardian and the other, I don't remember whether it was Mail or what, that is how they were slipped out. And, so there was and 6 people, along with deputy superintendent of jail, his name is Akram, they've been detained, who were very close to him. And now the important thing is that these people who were arrested today, the one is Brigadier Ghaffar, the other is Brigadier Naeem and Colonel Asim. They're all from Chakwal, the area where Faiz is from. So they are not only close friends and close buddies, but they are probably the same clan as well.
Wow, that's an incredible piece of information. Mr. Mohanani, if I could come to you, you served in Pakistan. This looks far bigger now that Mubashir Lukman has taken us through these details. It looks far wider and deeper than just the arrest of the ISI chief. And is it because we think? I mean, I believe it's because Army Chief General Asim Munir believes he has the full backing of the army. I mean, it's a very, very, very powerful message that's going out from General Munir to both serving and retired personnel. That that any move to weaken the state or weaken the military is not going to be accepted. I mean, but it's taken them 15 months. I mean, Imran Khan has been in jail for 14 or is it 13? But it's 15 months since May 9. Why did they take so long to to act, I wonder? I mean, that's a question I put.
Basically, you see that army was waiting for civil courts to function, civil investigation agencies to prosecute those people who were responsible for the May 9 violence, and the courts to punish them. nothing of that sort has happened. In fact, many of those who have been accused of indulgence in violence on May 9 have been given bails by the court. Then many are yet to be arrested. Many are in the process of investigation only. It's taking a lot of time. And in the meanwhile, as Mubashir also says, that Imran is going all strong in Adiala jail. He has communication outside. He wrote those articles in Telegraph and Economist and other places. He's communicating with his people. Then he has placed many YouTubers abroad, as also in Pakistan, who continuously launch a campaign against the army, against Asim Munir, and a host of other the political leaders, to undermine their credibility, to undermine their authority, to undermine the whole institution. On May 25 or so, he tweeted that asking people of Pakistan to read Hamudur Rahman Commission report.
Yeah.
And compared Asim Munir with Yahya Khan.
Yes.
So this is something I think army is unable to digest. So finally, I think at some stage they will have to, they took a call that if this goes on for long, then they are going to be discredited among the masses, and people are the biggest support for Pakistan army. If people, they lose credibility in the masses, then it's very difficult for the army to operate, because it's facing a lot of issues in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, and other places. So that is,
we'll go
became,
back in a minute.
Yeah, it became.
I just want to check. I want to actually clarify the role of the court. The Supreme Court and the military court. The Supreme Court has now directed the military court, right, to prosecute, General Faiz Hameed, but not just on corruption, because you had Khwaja Asif, your minister, saying that. Now let me see what he said. He said that he's also been involved in other activities. He said he's accused Faiz Hameed of political interference in December 2022. Now, what does he mean? Is he talking about the time when the National Assembly, in a no confidence motion, voted Imran Khan out of office? Was Faiz Hameed working behind the scenes? Is that the charge that Khwaja Asif is making? He's also accused Faiz Hameed of directing the attacks on the army targets in May 9, right? He says you can say he had a role as a strategic advisor in the May 9th attack. That's very specific.
Yeah, it is very specific, and I'm sure he means all of that. But there's only one aspect to it. Somebody has to prove all of that in a court of law. You and I believing in one thing, and that thing being proven in a court of law, they're two different things. But honestly, I believe Khwaja Asif. I believe what he said, and I second that opinion. But again, if you ask me to prove that with tangible evidence, I don't know how I will do that. But as a journalist, that we have our sources, and we put two and two together. But fact of the matter is that Faiz Hameed has been instrumental in getting involved into many areas, not just politics. Into business, into judiciary, into intelligence bureau and whatnot. And even with the backdoor talks with India, when he met Ajit Deol at that time, and they sort of paved a 6-point charter for lateral trade between India and Pakistan. So, and which was later denied. Actually, it was Imran Khan who sort of put the spanner in the wheel and shut it down. But the fact of the matter is that, yes, he has been involved in many things, and there are many personal stories of people I know and people who've been close to me who are victims of Faiz Hameed's wrath, at one point or the other. Even I was personally. I had to lose my job because of him, and he was a DGI at that time, and I had a great spat with him and in the army house in front of General Bajwa over there. And I told him, I refused to shake hands with him. And I told him
Wow.
that, he'll pay for his price. And he couldn't believe that, him being DGISI and in uniform in the army house, there's this person who can say, he doesn't want to shake hands with him. So, I mean, he has had that effect on people where you end up hating him. Nothing else. What more can I say?
Wow, you're very brave.
Yeah.
So the charge against him is also that he's engaged in questionable activities after retirement. But
Yeah.
even before retirement, I mean, at the time when he dealt with the Labaik Pakistan, that group, I mean, did he get, was it with the blessing of the army that he was involved? I mean, that's quite an interesting episode, right? When they actually set, they stopped traffic, they blocked off Islamabad and at that Faizabad interchange. And then he negotiated with the Tehrik-e-Labaik Pakistan and managed to get them to back down. So he's been playing this game for quite some time, and Nawaz Sharif has blamed him and the army for removing him from power and propping up and creating the Imran Khan, myth, which got him, elected. So I mean, it's not that he's done it yesterday. He's been doing it for some time, and surely that is part of the army's tactics to control the political scene in Pakistan.
No, it's not that. I think it's very recent because, I mean, yes, he's been accused again and again, and I also accused him just now. But this particular move came after a month before, if you remember, PTI offices were raided in Islamabad. And the authorities and the FIA took into custody many computers and laptops from there. And then their spokesperson, Rauf Hassan, was arrested over there. And he still is arrested. And, while he was on remand, he sort of gave clue to many things. And then in those computers, they found a lot of evidence as to who's involved in what and, the kind of, I mean, anti-government or anti-state or anti-army activities over there. So I think that this decision of arresting him and court-martialing him in light of the Supreme Court order is fairly recent. I don't think 2 months back anybody had really thought that he would be arrested. I mean, this is slightly recent, in my opinion.
In April,
and he never stopped. You see, if as a general, as a DGC or a DGI, he was involved in something, then I'm sure it had blessings of his superiors. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'm sure. Otherwise, it's not possible. But when you do it as a civilian, then you're doing it on your own. And you're still bound by the Constitution not to indulge.
That's the distinction. That's the distinction. Yeah. Yes, you're right.
I mean, army can do something, and it may be a bad choice. It may be a bad decision. We can criticize that decision. But the thing is, that still remains an institutional decision. You see, but when an individual does it, not like Mr. Avinash right now, as a diplomat, he could have done many things. But now if he does that, that reflects adversely on the Foreign Office, then he's going to be taken to task for that.
That's a good point. Now, I also want to bring up the fact that Imran Khan is clearly the target. I mean, Faiz Hameed is just a weapon to get at Imran Khan. But Imran Khan is faced with multiple charges. He's been cleared from one, then he gets charged with another, and then one that sticks. The Toshakhana case is around. So, how much of a challenge does Imran Khan? And today he's again praised Faiz Hameed and said that he was an asset that should have been used better. So, I mean, he's still batting for Faiz Hameed. So how much of a challenge does Imran Khan really pose to the present government and to the army? Because even a Gallup poll last year said he was way ahead of his rivals. Does he still have the people's support, as everyone says? I mean, even there were just last couple of weeks ago, there were demonstrations across Pakistan by his supporters to mark the anniversary of his arrest.
Look, right now, in any Gallup survey or whatever survey is done, Imran Khan comes out on top, there is no doubt, and will remain on top for the time being. Now, what Imran is doing is weaponizing his popularity and using it to undermine the present army chief and maybe the army as an institution, so that whenever he becomes prime minister, he holds all the control. He doesn't have to depend on army, or if he has to depend on army, he has a favorite person there. He can put all his opponents behind bars. This is what he always wanted. There is an interesting anecdote that I read it in the Pakistani papers when Asim Munir as DG ISI went and met Imran Khan. Then he asked, Imran Khan asked him, what is the biggest issue facing Pakistan? Asim Munir obviously said, this is economy, internal security, which is normal. Imran Khan said, no, it is the corrupt politicians. They have all to be kept behind the bars. They have created havoc. They have looted money from here. So the problem is that dealing with Imran Khan is not that easy. Even if he is in jail, if he is out, then he becomes more dangerous. That is why this whole process of court-martial, because in court-martial, the procedure, the process that is adopted is one, opaque, nobody knows. And as Mubashir was saying, the kind of evidence required to nail Faiz Hameed or Imran Khan in this case would be not of that high quality that required in the normal court of law. Then the process, everyday hearing, etc., people would know only through the press releases. What is doled out to the media would be accepted. Second, third, and next point is that what the defense lawyer is taking the argument may not even come out. What defense lawyer is saying. So that is why, and the process is so fast that it can happen, it can conclude within few months, the whole process. That is why the dependence on the court.
Can I interject over here? May I interject over here? There are two kinds of courts. One is a court-martial, and then there's a military court. A lot of people who are not from the army background, they mix up the two. Military court is not the same as a court-martial. That is why, military court is not the same as a court-martial. A court-martial, yes, you are perfectly right that this is what happens. But when a civilian is tried in military court for terrorism or espionage or whatever, then he has a right to engage his own counsel, and he has a right to go to a superior court, which in this case becomes a high court after the verdict, and then on to the Supreme Court. But when there's a court-martial, then it's purely an internal army affair, and it cannot be challenged in any other court.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But so that is why this whole court-martial thing is happening, because then the quality of evidence will be low. Second thing, one thing that Imran and Faiz Hameed, I would say, missed out, that after the May 9 incident, there was an amendment in Army Act. This is somewhere around September or so in last year. And some new offenses were added, and some offenses were given more aggravated punishment. So perhaps it is felt by the people that Faiz Hameed could be tried in those offenses. And the restriction of 2 years is in case of the army officers. But those who have been associated with sensitive assignments, the ban is for around 5 years, that you can't indulge in any political activity.
Oh, I see. Okay,
this has been the changes made last year in the Army Act.
I see. That's very interesting. But the judiciary has also, as you rightly said, has been not really prosecuting all those people who took part in the May 9th attacks. So I suppose it was a clever move by the Supreme Court to move it to a military court. I think that's probably why they did that. I agree with that. But will the political establishment also back this? I mean, the PPP, the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, Do they also believe that this should go ahead, that Imran Khan and Faiz Hameed should be prosecuted? Would they back it? I mean, does it not really mean that in a way that they are backing the military's tried and tested role of interfering with the political scene? I mean, they've paid the price too. Both the PPP and the PMLN have paid the price. So why are they
Nina,
not, putting up
just
a?
now, I'm looking at the television screens in front of me, and Pakistan People's Party spokesperson has welcomed the arrest of Faiz Hameed and the three others. And I don't have to tell you how ecstatic PMLN would be and some of the others right now. So that's a foregone conclusion. But right now, Nina, a point that most of Pakistani journalists have missed out, and a point that my Indian friends and analysts seriously missed out. The key to politics in Pakistan and key to democracy in Pakistan lies with one person, and that is not Imran Khan. And that is not Nawaz. No, it is not. It is Maulana Fazlur Rahman. Because Maulana Fazlur Rahman commands the largest number of Deobandi followers across the country. And he has strength across the border in Afghanistan as well. And Maulana Fazlur Rahman is right now daggers drawn with everyone and anyone. And he is so distraught that he went and met PTI people twice. And he acknowledged that he has to support them. So whatever happens, the Zardaris and the Sharifs.
This is the Jamaat-e-Ulema Islamiyya.
Jamaat-e-Ulema Islam.
Islam, yeah.
Islam.
The JUI, his faction, Fazlur Rahman faction.
Yeah. And so somebody has to put an effort into distancing Maulana Fazlur Rahman and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Because if Fazlur Rahman actually joins Tehreek-e-Insaf, then you can have an end to democracy. I mean, over here. I mean, I can see that.
No, but that is a very, very serious comment. Very, very serious development.
I am telling you. I mean, who else can withstand the pressure? Let's put it that way. Other than him.
So but what is driving him? What is driving him to sort of align with the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf?
Because he believes that he was the president of PDM, and he actually formed the PDM, and he was deprived of his share in that government. And then following the elections, he believed that Nawaz Sharif and everyone had made commitments to him and promises to him, and they were not kept. And he believed that he was made to lose certain seats in Balochistan and KPK. And he's seriously fuming. I mean, fuming is an understatement, by the way. I mean, and a serious understatement as that. So, and so far, in the last 3-4 months, he's refused to meet Nawaz Sharif. He's not met anybody of, that stature. And he believes he's been stabbed in the back. So he met PTI people twice, officially. And I'm sure they could have met more than that, but that we don't know about as yet. But
because Maulana Khan's rally with Nawaz speaking from London was one of the most well-attended, rallies that there was.
Yes, and he believed that Nawaz stabbed him. And he says it openly. I mean, I'm not sharing a secret with you. It's an open secret. So that's a very important element that everybody is missing out right now.
That's a very interesting statement. So you're saying that the street protests that are happening in KPK, which were basically came out of, the rise in electricity prices and food prices and across the country, could actually become, could take on a whole new color if the PTI and JUI get together.
I don't know how these, I don't know about mob psychology. Years back, there was these cartoons published in a Danish publication, and there were riots across Pakistan, especially in war.
Of course.
And I was doing a special documentary of them. 4 days into the riots against those cartoons, it suddenly changed into high sugar prices. The whole mob, about the sugar prices, and how the mob turns and sort of redirects its and realign a goalpost? I don't know. But right now, fact of the matter is that JUI, Maulana Fazlur Rahman, they are not happy with anyone in the political establishment, and they are not happy with anyone in the establishment, and they feel that they've been cheated. And if Nawaz Sharif and Shahbaz Sharif and Asif Zardari and all of these people want some sanity in the parliament, they need to go and seriously address his issues.
Make peace, yes. There's also a lot of talk about Faiz Hameed being punished for refusing to testify against Imran Khan, from what I've heard. And that Faiz Hameed believes that he's doing it basically because he believes that, Imran's fortunes will be, will bring him back to taking over as prime minister. So, will these charges be, used to pressure Faiz Hameed to accuse Imran Khan of being behind Minan? Do you
These
think
are
he will be
totally preposterous. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Conjuncture. Yeah.
Right. It's totally preposterous because fact of the matter is that just before Asim Munir was appointed and nominated and then appointed, Faiz Hameed sent 2 messengers to Nawaz Sharif. And he said, if you appoint me as the army chief, I will cripple PTI. I know PTI and I'll deal with Imran Khan, and I give you my word. And Khwaja Asif said that in a public statement as well. I mean, the defense minister even just. So this is the Game of Thrones over here. Everyone is for himself or herself. There's no love of anyone else.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. So
actually, Faiz Hameed's unfulfilled ambitions to become army chief.
Yeah.
Then after retirement also, his ambitions are not over. He still aspires to become maybe at top level in the as a prime minister, president or something. And that he can do only because of his links with Imran Khan. So he can't ditch Imran Khan. His only hope is that whatever he gets, it will be from Imran Khan only. We want to remain loyal to Imran Khan, help him in whatever way. This is the normal bureaucrat or military person, retired military person, who would be after some post or the other. So this is what is fueling his activities after retirement. He is being largely, there are 2 paras in the ISPR release about why Faiz Hameed has been taken into custody. The immediate trigger, of course, is the Supreme Court order saying that to investigate the top city case of corruption. The second para says that his activities after retirement that have been in a way confirmed by the army. So army has sufficient material against him. It's not that they are talking out of hats. No, not at all. Army has material against him, his political activities. And as Mubashir says, that they might have got something more in the raid on his PTI office. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have evidence that he was involved. Now, I have another conspiracy theory also, which I'm sure both of you are going to shoot down. Is Bajwa a target too? Is he in the crosshairs of the army as well? Because in this running battle with Imran Khan, and it was General Bajwa and General Faiz Hameed who edged out Nawaz Sharif, as we all know. Apparently he's made it clear, Bajwa's made it clear, abundantly clear, that he has no interest in extending his tenure. He doesn't want to, but it looks as if he's trying to safeguard himself, because one hears that the federal investigative agencies are not only just investigating corruption against Faiz Hameed, but corruption against General Bajwa as well, because he's accused of accumulating $56 million in property.
Look, this is I would say that a huge guess would maybe totally out of place. Army is unlikely to further proceed against Bajwa, because after retirement, he has been lying low. And what I get a feeling from Pakistan is that he has been generally cooperative with the new army leadership. So proceeding against him in this case seems, I would say, very far-fetched. It is not possible. Even those interactions that Faiz Hameed did with the help of, at the time of Bajwa meeting Imran Khan, as you talked about the dharna, TLP dharna, signing the agreement with TLP people. This all was with the blessing of Bajwa. So he is not being fixed for that. If you obey the command of army chief, then generally you are not prosecuted or you are not taken to task. It is only those things like Top City case, Bajwa was not in picture. This is what impression I get. If I'm wrong, Mubashir can correct me.
No, I don't think it was involved in
Absolutely. And
toxicity.
one, let's not get into any conspiracy theories. We are talking about the army chief of Pakistan, which is a nuclear country. It's not a joke. Okay. And fact of the matter is that Bajwa can be asked. I'm not sure privately. He can be asked for whatever Faiz was doing and whether he was aware of it or not. But like Avinash sir said, I mean, he definitely is not answerable for that, because this is something that he did other than his official duties. And I think this is where it will end. But you will see a lot of subordinates being arrested now. Those who acted on Faiz Hameed's instructions further to go into this illegal activity. A senior will not be questioned for a subordinate's illegal activities. Rather, those who could have helped him, they would be. So, no, I don't see anything against Bajwa.
That's very interesting. I also want to ask, about the impact that General Faiz Hameed's arrest will have on, on the internally and externally. I mean, India has put ties with Pakistan on ice. We're grappling with a renewed uptick in militant attacks in Jammu and Kashmir along our border with Pakistan. And there are no indications at all, Mr. Maulani, to reach out to the Shahbaz Sharif government. So where does real power lie? Who will take the call? If there's any move at all, because I mean, Pakistan's consumed now with its own internal affairs as much as India is, but we've seen that building bridges in the past, as we did with the Sharifs and Zardari to a certain extent, did work, but and we had a back channel, as Mubashir Lukman says, with General Bajwa bringing about a modicum of peace. Faiz Hameed played a role in reaching out to Ajit Doval. So, what is it that we need to do? What does India need to do on Pakistan? You feel at the moment?
I'm very clear in this. There is no way out for both the countries except to talk. So it's not that we can keep ignoring, we can keep keeping a distance. We made SARC non-functional. The SARC activities are not taking place. But did we get anything out of it? It is only when, in Jammu and Kashmir, it is only when Pakistan performed that the violence dipped.
Yeah.
And if Pakistan opens the tap again, which we are seeing now, the Pakistan has opened the tap, then of course the violence is going to go up. Now, the one way is to talk to Pakistan, the other way is to talk to America. Because America is the only country that can keep Pakistan on leash by FATF or IMF loan delay, etc. So otherwise, we have all the fence tight, we have all the equipment, everything in place in border, but still there are riverine areas which remain uncovered and the terrorists can sneak in. So the key lies with Pakistan. And in Pakistan, obviously, the political leadership in India will have to talk to the political leadership there. It is up to Shahbaz Sharif how he manages Asim Munir, how much he takes him into confidence, how the both work together. It's up to them. But we can't have a connection directly with the army chief. That doesn't work out. That doesn't work out in the long run. This is my view.
It did with
I think
General
there's a-
Bashar.
I think there's a serious issue over here. Sorry if I may interject. Nina, you must understand one thing if you know Jammu Kashmir, that the entire area is totally barbed wired, and it's totally secure, and there are no weak links in it, and there are no missing links in it. And then you have between 800,000 to 1 million armed forces over there, and you have, I mean, your own intel agencies over there. Now, if still somebody can penetrate through all those layers of security, then it's high time that Indian Army starts court-martialing some of its generals also, like we are doing over here. I think if you had done that, maybe you wouldn't have had this problem. Because remember one thing, national budget of Pakistan is less than 50% of the defense budget of India. The Indian defense budget is double or slightly more than double of the Pakistan's entire budget. But there is one thing. I mean, we can go on and on. I can open up the Balochistan issue. You can open up the Rajasthan issue. But it's never going to end. One thing Indians and Pakistanis have to realize, one thing both have to realize, and I agree with the diplomats, sir, over here, that you may even have a war with each other, but even after the war, you'll still have to sit on a table and talk to each other. And the sooner you do that, the better it is. And I think both Pakistan and India must prove that they are responsible to serve the governments, that is, to serve their respective nations, and they sit and sort it out. Because at the end of the day, no matter how big the dispute, it still has to come and get solved on a table.
Yeah. No, before I bring in the US's role, I do also want to talk about the fact that, journalists in Pakistan have been attacked, shot at. I mean, you yourself faced Faiz Hameed's ire. I mean, there is, there are, apart from everything else, you had this Absar Alam being shot at, you had Hamid Mir being shot at, and you had this gentleman who was very pro Imran Khan being killed, Ashraf Sharif in Kenya. How safe is the media? Is it still a target? Do you have freedom of expression? Are you allowed to, I mean, I'm just curious when you said you had been attacked by Faiz Hameed.
I think that was more personal than anything else, because I had accused Imran Khan's wife, Bushra, and Usman Buzdar of corruption, and Imran asked Faiz to sort me out. And so it was his instructions, and then it got soured over there. But look, there's only so much of freedom, either in Pakistan or in India, I mean, that we can exercise. I still feel that, when we cross our own lines, which we shouldn't, I mean, and then we blame, whatever blames we have. In case of Arshad Sharif, I worked with him for many years, and I knew him, and it was a great blow to all of us. But fact of the matter is that the murder of Arshad Sharif did not help the establishment in any way whatsoever. So whenever
the establishment is behind it.
No, I don't think so. I think somebody else benefited from that murder. So if the murder probe is, sort of dealt further and in more detail and investigated in more detail, then we can find out that it could have been anybody. The Kenyan government says, the Kenyan court says it was an accident. I don't buy that. Honestly, it's as simple as that. But fact of the matter, Nina, that journalists all over the world are under a threat right now. It's not only you people. It's the Europeans. It's the Americans. Look at Julian Assange. Look at others. I mean, after the Panama leaks, I mean, so many people are under threat. And so that has been a case, maybe more so in a third world country. But I mean, anywhere else in the world, it's the same. There are headlines and there are headlines.
If I can just go back to Afghanistan for a minute, was the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and Faiz Hameed and Imran Khan responsible for the chaos that is now currently happening in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa by allowing the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan to come back in such huge numbers and populate the area. I mean, the initial years after the 9/11 attacks, Washington and Islamabad worked very closely on the Taliban. But now it looks as if they miscalculated by allowing themselves to. I mean, Faiz Hameed is photographed in Kabul celebrating the return of the Taliban. And was that a bad move, you think, by Imran
You see,
Khan? To go
my personal opinion can be different from the Foreign Office and their stance, but I've always been an advocate of one thing, that you can't have good Taliban and bad Taliban. Either you are with the terrorist or against the terrorist. And I, for one, will always admonish a terrorist, irrespective, whoever that is. Even if that is from my own family, I would still admonish that. No terrorist can be accommodated in any other way. And yes, Imran Khan was instrumental in striking a deal with TTP and allowing them to settle in KPK. And Faiz at that time was a corps commander in Peshawar. And there was a lot of hue and cry, especially from people in Bannu and South Waziristan on this move. And Imran even offered them money and to settle down over here. And, I mean, but now we are paying a price for that. I mean, once a terrorist will always be a terrorist. I mean, he can't go and work 9 to 5 as a carpenter or a plumber or, whatever. So, I mean, that there's only one thing he knows, and that he'll resort to that sooner or later. Somebody will find employment for him. So, but now the resolve to get rid of that is even stronger. And I see that getting stronger day by the day. And yes, I have always believed that Imran Khan, with his policies, has helped terrorists, not only over here, but across the border. And he's tried to find a political constituency in them, which is so
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Has Pakistan also, under Asam Munir, blundered on China? Because China seems to have not given Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif what he wanted when the two of them went to Beijing and asked for the loans repayment to be deferred, so that they could work with the IMF. Was that also? I mean, your Chinese engineers were being attacked. You have that whole CPEC under pressure, So this is going to be a very tough call for this government, isn't it? Balancing Washington and Beijing. Do you think they could fall between two stools?
I personally feel that the China trip was not as good as we projected it to be. It's as simple as that. China, and I've met many Chinese people, and especially businessmen, they have one serious issue with us Pakistanis. They think that our bodies, entire bodies, are with China and our hearts are with America. And, we don't how to make it over there. They want us to make up our minds first and then decide where we want to place our bets, which is fair, which is fine. And I think unlike India, India has been very successful in its handling of affairs with Russia, for instance. India is a member of the Quad group, and then India has been importing oil from Russia, and there's been a method to that madness. We may criticize it as a Pakistani, but fact of the matter is, full credit to India. You have to balance your act over there, and I'm sure Foreign Office is working on it, but right now, China did not help us the way we thought they would.
Mr. Mahanani, would you like to comment on what Washington's role will be now?
Look,
because Asam Munir, when he took over, had a very long consultation with the powers that be in Washington before he came back. But that seems to be slipping out of their hands, out of Pakistan's hands.
Look, I would say that it goes beyond the heart. There is economic integration of Pakistan with America, number one, because America gives a general system of preferences to the import of textiles from Pakistan and levies a small duty. The Europe also follows the same procedure. So it's not possible for Pakistan to stay away from the America. There is absolutely no chance. Then I would say that generally
but security, But security and and basically geo intelligence and all of that stuff which they used to share, and the amount billions of dollars that were pumped into Pakistan by the
Yes, yes.
US to
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
that defense ties alive and kicking.
A lot of money was given, and as usual, the Americans have always been accusing Pakistan of the double game, that you do something here, say something here, and do something different in Afghanistan. So that issues have remained between Pakistan and America. But one thing is very clear, that America is not going to let Pakistan go down, because it's a nuclear armed country, so there is absolutely no chance. Number one. Number two, it would not let this Pakistan fall into the lap of China. That's also ruled out. The America will interject, provide the relief through IMF or other thing, so that Pakistan remains afloat. At the same time, the America would like Pakistan to make a call whether you need loan from IMF or you are dependent on the finances given by China. The problem with the China is that it doesn't have, I would say, what we call as the large heart. America can reschedule the payment for, say, 5 years. They will say, okay, you don't pay anything for 5 years, we'll see later. But Chinese don't have that. They want everything now. They want that if the loan is there, then you have to pay. So what Shahbaz and Asim Munir wanted was the deferment, but Chinese said no deferment, but yes, we'll invest more money.
We'll
have a CPEC extension or CPEC 2, so that Pakistan gets over the BOP situation, balance of payment situation. So that doesn't go well with the Americans.
That's a very good point, because I think America cannot let Pakistan fail.
Yeah, Americans feel that if we give money, the IMF gives money to Pakistan, then part of that money can go for repayment of the loans to Chinese, which Americans are unhappy about it.
They won't allow that. Yeah, they wouldn't like that happen.
So these issues are there, but in any situation, Pakistan has already agreed, staff level agreement has been there with IMF for 37-month long extended facility, which is about $7 billion. So if it is approved by the IMF board, then Pakistan will have, for next 3 years, they will have sufficient foreign funds available, foreign exchange available to buy the energy requirement, which is crucial for every country.
So before we end this program, I'd like both of you to make concluding remarks. I mean, Imran Khan seems to be still batting for Faiz Hameed, and the military seems to be doing a major cleanup act of its own ranks, and so on and so forth. What do you see happening? Will the country implode? Will there be? I mean, given the fact that Imran Khan is so popular, will it be able to ride through this storm? Will it accept? Will the people?
One thing, Imran Khan is definitely popular, but Imran Khan is not as popular as he was 6 months back, per se.
Why is that?
And his even the protests that you were mentioning earlier in the program, pro-PTI protests, they were left about to a few dozen people at any given point. So they were not in hundreds and thousands. Either he's losing popularity, or his people are scared of coming out. But either way, I mean, this is the way it is. The second thing is, I don't think Pakistan is imploding in any way. Pakistan just needs to get its house in order, and Pakistan needs to get its priorities in order. And I've been a strong advocate of one point, that if Pakistan wants to progress through the 21st century, Pakistan needs very strong bilateral ties with all of its neighbors, especially India, in trade, in science and technology, in IT, and many other areas where India can help us. And we can obviously give support in many areas as well. It's high time that we picked on strengths of each other. And we have to do that with all our neighbors, ironically. We can't do with anyone so far. And fact of the matter is that we are going through a very grey period. But this is not a country like Bangladesh. We don't have one nation over here, predominantly, that can just come out and, they would agree with each other and throw somebody out on the street. That's not happening, Nina. So, I mean, rest assured,
That's good to know.
We may have some troubling times, but, we've always been, look, three things have always been bad ever since I've been growing up. One, the economy of Pakistan, the batting lineup of Pakistan, that has been bad. And then, our politicians. So we are used to it right now. Don't worry.
All right. What about you, Mr. Maulani? What do you have to say?
Look, the way army has started purging and carrying out the court-martial proceedings, the consequences may become out of control for the army to deal with. So in this evolving situation, it's very difficult to make a judgment that this is going to happen 2 months later or 6 months later or so. Army can make course correction, the politicians can make course correction, the Imran Khan can make a course correction. So there is a lot of scope for all the players to accommodate their interests with the overall interest. So I agree with Mubashir that it's not the way we are expecting. It's not going to happen. I have lived in Pakistan, and Pakistan's middle class is as vibrant as India's, and they have the same nationalistic feelings. And so I don't think that that's a very, very remote possibility, very remote. But in this world, with the kind of developments taking place around, we have to keep our fingers crossed how things develop in next few months.
That's very interesting. Thank you very much. So basically, the military, which has always influenced domestic politics and props up their favorite politicians, is, and rooting these sidelines, anyone who stands in opposition, is making a very, very strong, sending out a very strong message by, arresting and possibly, who knows, maybe a court-martialing, a whole load of other officers apart from Faiz Hameed. So, but it's also the first time that there's so much speculation of such a massive Pakistan purge, I feel, within both the military and the political establishment. So what happens next? We need to wait and see. The last thing India wants, or for anyone in the region, is for another Bangladesh to happen on our western border. And as Mr. Lukman says, that's not a possibility because of the way that Pakistan is constructed. So thank you very much, Mr. Lukman, for coming on the program. Thank you, Mr. Mohanane. Very, very incisive, very interesting sidebars. Thank you, viewers. Please do visit the New Indian Express website and click on the Global Express icon and tweet and share.